Good evening, it's Seb Brantigan here, and I'm here with Jonathan Bailey, who's an online marketing specialist. And I really wanted to spend some time with Jonathan today, really pick his brain and understand what it is that he's doing online to to break through. I see him really becoming a leader, doing all the things that leaders do, such as giving a lot of value, putting out lots of content out there. And so, I want to talk to him about really what he's doing and like what's working for him. But I also wanted to do this recorded rather than me just, asking him what he's doing. I figured if I could record this and then, send this out to people, put it on my blog and share this with others so they could benefit, I feel that that would be an awesome thing to do. So what I'm going to do here, Jonathan, is I just talk a bit about where Jonathan's come from. So, he previously worked in the medical billing industry for how many years was that again?
15 years.
15 years. So, he had quite a lot of experience in that different industry. And so, he was looking for ways to make money online like all of us. And, he got to a point where he had actually started running his own businesses. He understood, he started running a clothing business. Was that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So he ran a clothing business back in 2010, which, things didn't go the way that he wanted them to. And so what he did was look for ways to, get back on the horse essentially. And so, and I can completely relate, I myself have had like so many like failed online ventures and stuff. And it's like, when you see success, you don't see all the failures that came before it. So, we'll talk more about like Jonathan's results and stuff in just a second. But, he's only been online for 15 months, and that's the incredible thing. And, he's made as much as $282 in a single day. And most people don't even make that in like a week's working, in like working a week, they don't even make that, for like a 40, 50-hour week, which is just crazy for him to, be able to make that passively from home, from where he lives in Seattle, Washington. So and this is the cool thing about online marketing is that, Jonathan can reach people. He's in Seattle, but he can, he's talking to me, and I'm in the UK, living in Ipswich, United Kingdom. And he's able to just connect with people from all kinds of areas, where they live, different career paths. And so really what I want to do, Jonathan, before I suppose jump into the main questions, is I want to ask you something that is going to break the ice a little bit. So if you could tell me an interestingly weird fact about yourself that maybe not many people know.
There's quite a few of them, but I'm definitely going to get to one. But first off, I want to say thank you for having me on this hangout here. I appreciate you from reaching out to me. I see you doing a lot of big things, and I'm excited to see you grow over the next year as well. But one of the, I guess you could say, interesting facts about me is when I was a little kid, I wanted to be Bruce Lee. Like, I just love everything Bruce Lee, from the outfits to the noise that they make on his videos. And so I watched a lot of Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, and I got heavily into subtitles martial arts. So subtitles martial arts is like around the 1960s, 1970s, where you hear like bing, bing, ching, ching, like all of that. Like those are my favorite movies till this day, and not a lot of people know about that too. So I would say that's a weird fact, that I like Chinese martial arts subtitles, not English, but subtitle movies.
Well, that's interesting. I know what to get you for your birthday then.
Hey, my birthday's coming up, matter of fact. It's in May, so it's right around the corner.
I've got time to look online for some artifacts to send to you. Sweet, man. All right, so yeah, thanks for sharing that, man. I always like that question, because it's like sometimes these interviews can be like really formal, and it's just like there's no need for it to be like that way. People are here to have fun as well, to learn. So the next question then is really, I think I did touch on bits of it, but how did your entrepreneurial journey begin? What really inspired you to one day just decide that you wanted to be your own boss? You didn't want to work for anyone else anymore, but you wanted to go and do your own thing and be independent.
Well, it really started when I was a kid. So I have 12 other siblings. And growing up, we lived in a 4 bedroom, 1.5 bath, under 1,200 square feet. So it's like this, really. So I only grew up with 7 of them because of the age difference. But I used to watch my dad, I would say around 8 or 9 years old, go to work. And he would work 16-hour days, come home with the full, with 8 other kids at the house, and then plus mom and dad. And it was just running ragged. And one day he was walking in from work when I was about 10 years old, and he just looked beat, just like defeated. And I was like, Dad, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. But you can tell like there's something wrong. So that kind of was like my pivotal point. Like, hell no, I don't want to work for anybody else. I want to work for myself. And so throughout my junior high and high school years, I still didn't know what I really wanted to do. I was a C average in junior high and high school. The only reason why I was a C average was because I wanted to play sports. And for me to play sports, my parents you got to have a C at least. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And so, I just kind of did that. And after high school, didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I didn't want to work for somebody, but since I didn't know, I had to work for somebody. I wasn't clear on my vision. I wasn't clear on my quest. I just knew this over here, but I didn't know how to get there. And so 10 years, yeah, so after high school, I tried college a couple times, didn't work out for me. And then 05, I decided to leave Seattle, Washington, and I went to Utah. And I was there with my sister, and we were kind of bonding and things like that, hanging out, chilling. And in 2008 is when I really started my personal development. And from that, I met a group of guys where, this is the funny part, where every Thursday through Sunday, we would get drunk and talk about politics. We talk about religion. We would talk about spirituality, and we would talk about just family. So it was all of this crazy, but it really helped me because I grew up really religious. And so it was helped me to see a different perspective of what everybody thought. And so the more I got into it, the more I realized it was this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life, helping people get out of their situation or just change their mind frame, or matter of fact, just be able to help a generation. Because when you help one person, their bloodline or their spouse or their cousin or their TT or their uncle, it starts doing a ripple effect. And I saw that one time and I was like, I'm hooked. I want to do this for the rest. So 8 years old is when I really started, but later on in life, I finally get the opportunity to do it full time now.
Dude, that's really inspiring, you sharing that. And I can, going back to when you said your dad was working long hours, I can relate, because it's funny, actually at the same kind of age, I think I was maybe 8 or 9 years old, just before my parents split up. My dad was working really long hours. He would travel sometimes 2 or 3 hours a day, just in commuting, wow, getting to meetings and stuff they had to get to while he was working. And I remember quite a few times, he would come back so late that we would stay up and wait for him, and it would be midnight, and so we'd be up late, my brother and I, and as soon as he came in the door, we're like, Dad, we want a midnight snack, and it was hilarious, looking back on it. I think he, my dad really worked really hard. He wasn't doing anything wrong. It's not wrong to want to be, provide the best for your family,
Sure.
but it's also it's not the best path that you can do, in my opinion. And it's just I look to that and I think, what could I do differently if I were, in my dad's shoes? I love my dad and he's great, but I just think that, there are definitely different things that now it's the 21st century. Now that you have a lot more opportunities, a lot more chances, and you could start a business for a couple of $100, which arguably, I suppose at the time when my dad was working, it was 98, 99. So
maybe
not quite as many, I guess, opportunities then as there are now, probably hardly any. But yeah, man, I can fully relate to your story there, how you got started in the industry. And that was one of my first motivators as well. Is just, you know, seeing a way out for my family to be like the family member who could just help out as much as possible. And it's, you know, having money makes that a lot easier, you know, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely it does. It's crazy though, because ever since I really gotten into it, like been passionate about it, like I sleep it, I wake up, I take a shower thinking about it, like I go out to have fun with friends and I'm thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like it's like really in my bloodstream. And I notice like my siblings will come in and start asking me questions, and I'll give them my entrepreneur question, you know, answer. And you can start seeing them, it's like twick, 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 like they start moving like their heads, and it's a really cool effect. And I've only been in it for 15 months and I'm seeing like their kids are starting to change because I changed them in a way. So I love that feeling. To me, that feeling's like amazing.
Sweet, man. It's definitely the ripple effect that you can have, like if you just have that kind of obsession about it. You know, people will either move aside and leave you alone, or they'll just like want to help you as much as possible. So, you know, and it's cool that you have like some friends as well and some family to kind of you know, support you along your journey. You know, it can be very tough if you're trying to make it work and you're fighting like your loved ones as well at the same time. It's like fighting two battles. You know, you know, you've got to have someone on board, whether it's if it can't be your family, it should maybe be, you know, find some new friends who can help you do that. You know, you gotta find a circle and keep it like relatively tight, so that, you know, so that your mind is on the right wavelength in order to, you know, go out there and do what you need to do. So you know, moving on to you know, your biggest reason why you did this. You know, what was your core reason? Like, if you could just narrow it down to sort of one thing.
If I can narrow it down to one thing, now that I like think back to my past, I would narrow it down to proving to myself that I can do this. Like there's like growing up, so I have a learning disability, and at the age of 9, I went to a like counselor, speech therapist, like psychologists, like I don't know what they, you know, have, but at the age of 9, I overheard the doctor saying I was going to be average for the rest of my life because I wouldn't take medicine to, you know, really help me focus. My parents were like, no, he doesn't need it. And plus we couldn't afford it. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. And so now that I controlled this learning disability that I have, it's like I'm more focused and more determined to make the rest of my 30, 40 years not like the last 30 or 40 years. So it's a really like fire that burns in me that says, I'm not going to allow somebody else to determine what I am worth and what my job is to do. So that's pretty much my biggest reasons, just determination and not letting other people dictate what I should do.
That's really cool, man. Like that you shared that. I think there are so many people who, I suppose, have something that holds them back like that. You know, like you just said. I remember reading that actually in one of your emails that you sent recently, and it just, you know, it really hit me hard, man. Like in a good way, because it's, you know, it just shows me that you've been able to overcome some pretty big obstacles in your life, and it, you know, a lot of it is in your head, and it's other people putting things in your head. You know, there's so many people out there who, you know, believe they have a mental illness or like believe certain things, and it's almost like that. It's that belief that actually creates it. It's just the belief in the head. There's no actual illness, you know, and so it can be that damaging when you have family members or friends like saying negative things to you. It really can kind of you know, I suppose, plant things in your head, which can be so difficult to remove. And some people never remove them. Like some people, you know, go around their whole lives thinking that they're stupid because, you know, one of their parents said to them that they're stupid, and they kept saying it so much and so, you know, so many times, so repetitively that it became their identity, you know. So you know, props to you for fighting back and saying, no, that's not who I am. You know, that's who you think I am, but that's not who I am. That's just your perception, and I'm going to prove you wrong. And I'm going to prove to you that not only am I normal, but I am abnormal. You know, I am someone who inspire others. You know, I'm not just someone who can get to this average kind of state that, you know, from what I see from what you're doing, dude, like you're just absolutely escalating your success. You know, you're doing all the things that successful people are doing, and you're getting the results. You know, so you know that's like a giant like middle finger to anyone who says otherwise. So yeah, that's just awesome, man. Like I really am pumped about your hearing about that, man. That's just incredible, and I know people listening here will definitely get some value from that story. Like, you know, there are people who just don't have excuses, and they kind of make excuses not to do things, you know. So I think that would definitely dispel some people who, you know, have made excuses why they can't do it. And it's just like, you know, you've had like more obstacles than a lot of people and still made it happen. So amazing, man. That's good stuff. So moving now on to strategies. I want to just pick your brain here on, I know you do some social media, and I know that you're right now, you've written an ebook, which is called 10 Ways to Jumpstart Your Mind for Success. It's just a phenomenal ebook. And I know that's added a lot of value to people who've read it. So, so really what I wanted to do is talk about what kind of marketing strategy that you're doing in order to, you know, find people, whether that's exposing them to your ebook or whether that's, you know, to your business. So what are the one or two things or three things or however many things that you do, the main couple of things that you're doing right now to generate leads and really to get people interested in your offer to the point where they seriously want to buy it?
Right. So that's a really good question. So when I first started online, I was kind of like trying to be everywhere and know everything, and then in the end, I learned nothing. And so if you get what I'm saying is, a lot of people like to come online. They want to learn LinkedIn. They want to learn Instagram. They want to learn Facebook, YouTube. They want to learn Twitter. They want to learn all these other things. But if you ever talk to anybody who has any type of success, they will tell you concentrate on two things only, because your brain can't handle all of it. And once you become successful at those two things, stick with those two things, because it's going to continue to help you. But one of the ways that I do it is by Facebook. I do a lot of Facebook chats. I do a lot of inspiration, motivations. And when people start commenting and liking on my stuff, I will actually go ahead and strike up a conversation with them to see if they even had any pains or any problems. So that's just one of the ways that I do collect leads. I guess you could say like my favorite one is actually YouTube, making videos. So I do a lot of YouTube marketing, and that one is really generating me, I would say, about 275 leads came strictly from YouTube itself. And the one thing I love about YouTube is I catch people at the end of their research. So if they're talking how to make money, I wait until they say how to make money online using this product, because then I know that that's a perfect buy. And so I place myself in front of them, and then I capture the lead and get them into my opportunity if there's a problem or a pain or something like that. And another thing that I've been using is solo ads. I'm kind of testing that out right now. I haven't really got too big into it, but right now it's just Facebook and YouTube is how I collect all of my leads. And that ebook that you were talking about, those are the same audios and books that I've read that's able to get me to my success to where I'm at today. So you guys definitely want to go ahead and check that out. You could download it. You can contact Seb, you can contact me, and I can get you guys here. But it's a really good book. A lot of people's giving me great feedback from it.
Awesome, man. Thanks for sharing that. I definitely agree with what you're saying about the YouTube side of things, because it's, you know, it's search oriented. So someone's actually, you know, they've got a problem because why else would they be searching for it? You know, if they didn't have like a specific problem. And so when they become a lead through YouTube, it's like, you know that they're hot, you know that they're looking for something. And yeah, it's just great. It's just great, man. And I've been on your YouTube channel and seen your videos, and so I've seen like how much value you can give, as well as like your confidence on the camera and just being able to just talk to people, just talk to them as if you're having a normal conversation. There's like no hype about it. You're just very, I suppose, straight talking with your advice and stuff that you have. So that definitely must be, you know, in terms of your lead flow, that's pretty good, because that's, you know, 275 leads for free. So that's quite a lot of leads. You know, most people generate like 1 or 2 leads a week, or, you know, something like that. So awesome
Yeah,
work.
I really like it because I only had to make the video one time and I never have to do it again. But I place myself on there the correct way, and I can get like I think, let's see, one of my videos has generated 80 leads, and it's been like 7 months, and I'm not even doing anything with it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's the power of YouTube. You can definitely place yourself right and don't have to ever worry about it again, and you can continue to get leads. So that's why I went with YouTube.
That's nice, man. I suppose another thing that expert marketers do is they track. So they'll be able to know what's working and what's not working. So,
Yep.
you know, props to actually having the tracking on it. You know, that's, you know, it's about testing, tweaking, and tracking, you know, whatever that you're doing. If it's a new strategy, or, you know, you're doing something, I mean, how do you know if it's working or not if you can't, you know, track it and see what you're doing? You know, if you can't measure, you can't improve what you can't measure. So I definitely definitely like 100% agree with you on doing things like that. You know, being more scientific with your marketing, that's definitely the way forward, I would say. So now going back to, I suppose, mindset stuff. So really with every success, as I said, there's typically a lot of failures. So what would you say is your biggest temporary defeat, and how did you overcome it?
I would say in 2010, I got into a car accident. And so I had a little bit of what I call chump change. So like a couple dollars here and there. It wasn't like a lot. So in 2010 through 2012, I was kind of debating what to do with this money. I was thinking I could buy other businesses. Now, at this time, I lived in Utah, so it's pretty much a desert. So I was thinking, well, maybe I can invest in some like ice chips, like company or something like that, you know, because, you know, little kids love sugar, and I'm thinking like money, money, money. And so I started looking into it, and come to find out, like, it wasn't a good deal. They didn't have a lot of returns and things like that. And so I just kept on looking. And then in 2012, about the beginning of 2012, I was sitting down drinking with a friend of mine, and I was like, what kind of business do you want to run, or, you know, or create? And he was like, why not a t-shirt business? And I said, sure, why not? Everybody needs a shirt. You know? So that's how it actually started. So for the next like 6 or 7 months, I'm prepping, I'm getting everything done, my hands in everything, from the marketing to the advertisement to the budgeting to the website to the creator, to all of these things kept me up late at night. And then it rolls out. It lasts for 3 months. That's it. I went under completely, and I just got depressed. Like, the ego pride just won. Like, there was times where I was just like, I'm done. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Because all of my friends kept on asking me, oh, how's your business going? Oh, and then family members would ask, oh, how's your business going? You know, then I had like relatives that would ask me, and they just brought me, it was like, you know, so it really did hurt. But in 2014 was about that time where I was like, I need to do something. I need to better my life. I'm 32 years old. What the hell am I doing still down for something that happened a little while ago? Like, you need to get up, you need to start prepping yourself. And so that was like my major defeat, but I got out of it because of personal development, and I stopped drinking. That was like a big thing for me. That really helped me to get on the mindset, the level that I needed to be at to get to where I'm at today. So that I would say, yeah, stop drinking, and having a t-shirt company really helped me out.
Definitely, man. And even though it was, I suppose you could say it's a failure, but it's more of a learning curve, I would say, because that's, you know, what doesn't work, and you can take the skills that you practice there to something else, you know. And so I think that really has contributed to you, you know, having the success in a short space of 15 months. But, you know, people also need to realize that, you know, whenever you see someone succeeding quickly, typically there's some backstory to it. They don't typically, you know, come online and, you know, money just like, you know, appears from the sky, or like, you know, they open their I don't have my wallet here, but like open their wallet and just all this cash flies out, you know, like P Diddy or something. But you know, it would be great if it worked like that. You know, if there's something that exists like that, then someone should let me know. But you know, there's always like a big learning curve to succeed in anything. It's like if you were going to learn karate, they say you need 10,000 hours to be a master at your chosen, you know, field or whatever. You know, it's the same with karate, same with anything. Like I did judo for about 3 years, and I was still like, there were like 9 or 10 belts, and I was like the 3rd belt up after like almost 4 years. So, you know, I was okay at it, but I was like by no means an expert. And that was 3 years. You know, I went once a week for like 3 years. So it gives you an idea of how much effort and time is required to, you know, just to break through, just to have some kind of success. So, you know, props to you for sticking with it and just bouncing back, because a lot of people would have just, you know, laid down and said, well, you know, I failed. What's the point in trying again? It won't be successful. You know, that's average thinking, you know. And so we're not average thinkers. We, you know, we get up and we try again because we know something somewhere is going to work. We don't know when. It's hard to say when, but we know we'll come across a gold mine eventually, you know. And that's the mentality. Whoever's watching, you just have to have that mentality that even if right now where you are is not where you want to be, you know, don't focus on that. Don't focus on that stuff. You have to focus on where you want to be, because that will drive the action, and that will just put you in the mind frame that you need to go out there and make it happen. So moving on to just the next question here. So what's the long-term vision for you as a brand and as a business? So I mean, what are your plans and your vision for the rest of 2016 and then beyond that?
So right now I belong with a team that our motto is freeing 100 families a year. So we are on a mission as a collective, not just an individual, but as a collective, to free 100 families per year until, you know, as long as we can go. So right now my focus is really being a part of that collectiveness, because I see the value in what we're doing right here is just bringing people, helping people. And the most important thing is empowering people to do their own thing. Whether it's you want to be a bartender for your life, as long as you have passion for it, do it. Or you want to play tennis for professionally, as long as you got passion, do it. Or you just want to sew, if you're good at it, well, do it with some passion. It's all about empowering people. And that's what myself and my team is all about. So right now, my vision is just to help anybody and everybody that can who is looking for a solution to their current problems or to their pains. Because I just don't want to take everybody, because I mean, it's not going to work out. I just want to make sure that I'm a great fit for whoever has a problem or a pain before. But, you know, my brand and going on before, or going 17, 18, 19, 20, man, it's crazy. My vision is getting more clear every single day. So like for 2016 and 17 for my brand, I'm seeing it on every social media. I'm seeing it more on a professional, higher level than where I'm at now, because all the stuff that I'm learning, like from you, from my mentor, like once you learn something, your vibration changes, therefore your thought pattern changes, therefore your what comes into your head, your downloads and things like that changes. And so, but I already see it already changing, even though I'm in this state here. So I'm really excited about 16, 17, 18, you know, or 2016, 17, 18, you know, because I see the change already happening, because I realize that in order for change to happen, I have to see it change first. And so I'm already seeing it change first. And so I'm ready to go. I'm excited. I'm excited to help people. And I really want to be part of helping 100 families a year get their freedom back.
that's a great goal as well, like 100 families a year, you know, because it's, you know, these could be big families. They could be affecting a lot of people, you know, and it's like I was saying in another interview I was doing recently, it's about, you know, finding or creating a vision that's bigger than you. So it's not just about how much money you can make, but it's not even about how much, well, I guess it is about making the money, because, you know, how else would your business run? But it's about how would you spend that money when you make it? You know, what kind of person would you be when you succeed? And I think a lot of people, because they don't have that clear vision of what they'll actually do if they did succeed, you know, or maybe they're scared maybe they're scared because they don't know what they're capable of. You know, there are some crazy reasons why people don't go for their dreams, believe it or not. But that's just some incredible advice there. So yeah, so I fully support you in your goal for helping 100 families, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, you'll be able to just smash that and just maybe do 200 families, you know, at the rate that you're going. I know that you're putting out tons of content, and so, you know, that kind of thing tends to snowball. You know, people will share your content if it's valuable and stuff, which, you know, yours is, from what I've seen so far, which has just been great to see that. So just a couple more questions for today, and then I think I'll wrap up. So what is your top recommended book?
It's actually it's a tie. So when I first started really jumping into where I'm at today, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, hands down. You know, just the way he opened my mind made me see the possibilities, and that's what that book did to me, or for me. My other book that has equally is The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. That book just knocked it out of the park for me. It explains every thought process. It explains that the subconscious mind is actually the one who's in control, not the conscious mind. But then it gives you like little questions, and it gives you actually a kind of like a little paperwork, homework that you have to do. It makes you think about what you just read. It just doesn't say one chapter done, one chapter done. It ties everything all together beautifully. And yeah, I'm gonna say it. So 2 days ago, this guy contacted me, and he was going through a hard time. So we were sitting there just chatting it up. So I recommended this book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And he actually texted me back after a couple days later, and he was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to commit suicide now. Wow. Because he understood how the mind works. He's already tried it in his past. I'm not going to say his name or anything like that. But he was like, if it wasn't for you and you just tell me about this book, I don't think I would have been here. And so that book weighs like heavily with me just because of that and what it's done for me. So those are my 2 recommendations.
That's huge, man. That is massive. Like the impact that we can have as entrepreneurs. And that's why, you know, I don't ever want to throw in the towel, because, you know, even if I was making like no money, you know, there's always someone that you're able to inspire. And there's always, you know, so even if you can't keep going, or you don't want to keep going, do it for someone else. You know, do it for the people who are following you. Do it for the people who, there are people, believe it or not, who most likely are relying on you. They're following you quite intently. You know, they might not be liking and commenting your posts, but they are reading it, you know. And so, you know, you just have to keep going, oftentimes for other people, because, you know, like you said, if you hadn't, you know, be a leader. If you weren't a leader and you said, okay, well, you know, good luck, and, you know, hopefully things get better for you, you know, then you did the thing where you recommended something without selling anything. You said, well, go read this book, which really helped me. You didn't say, you know, join my business and then I'll help you. You just said, look, here's something that I recommend you read. It's going to help you. Not so much to make money, but it's to get your mind right so you can achieve what you want in your life, you know. So that's super inspiring, man. You know, that's made me think a lot deeper about the different kinds of impact we can have, and not just financially.
Yeah, that's true. It was really like, it was kind of emotional thing for me. Once I sat back and like read his text, I was just like, wow, like this is how I want to feel all the time right now. Like I want to feel that fulfillment. Like, yeah, it's okay I didn't make money, but I changed somebody's state of mind. I changed somebody's PSQ, prefer state quadrant. I changed it. That means they're going to go out and contact those people that are maybe in the same similar situation and help them as well. You know, so it is start to become a ripple effect. So that's like, it feels really good to actually do that. And I've never done it before. It was random. It just happened. And I'm like, whoa, yeah, I'm so glad I did not give up when I was struggling. I'm so glad I didn't stop what I was doing, because I already had a job at that time. Now I'm doing it full time, but at that time I had a job. I was struggling then. I could have quit. How do you know, like, our connection, something bad could have happened? So I'm glad I didn't throw in the towel. That's for sure.
Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. And there's just such a big impact that you can have, you know, when you actually get to that point where you're doing this seriously. So in the sense that, you know, if you're able to do a webinar where hundreds of people attend, you know, there might just be, you know, there might be, you know, 300 people there, and, you know, 299 people don't do anything with the information, but one person does, and they go on to like become a public speaker, or, you know, they go on to be like a corporate executive, or they start their own business, you know, their own high level company, something like that. But there's just such an impact that you can have on other people. It's just something to always bear in mind. You know, we're in a people business, and so, you know, we get good at building people who build the business, and that's just how it works. You know, we just lead by example, by showing up every day. Jonathan's a great example of that. If you go on his Facebook wall, then you'll see like he's there every day. He's posting content. You know, he's interacting with people. He's doing all the right things. Like he really is. And so, and his results are reflecting that. You know, he's doing this like full time from his home office in Seattle, connecting with people all over the world. And it's just amazing to not only see his progress, but just to work with him direct. And, you know, great that we can collaborate as well on some stuff. And, you know, so it's just been great. You know, knowing you, I've only known you for probably about a month now, like, you know, maybe like 6 weeks.
Yeah,
not very long, but I feel like I know you really well now, you know, just, and most of that is from your content. You know, like we have spoken, you know, quite a few times in between, but, you know, before I even spoke to you, like before we started collaborating, I was reading your content and I got to know you through that. And it's just so powerful. You know, if whoever is watching this needs to create content, so you can build that relationship and actually, you know, automate a lot of building the relationship, which it can be done, you know, it really can be done. So, you know, I want to give a massive thanks to you, Jonathan, for being here today and for being a leader and just, you know, making such a positive impact. You know, it really is shining through everything that you're doing. And so, you know, look forward to keeping track of you, and, you know, I'll be watching you very closely. And I know you're working on some other stuff, other ebooks and things like that. So is you know, 2016 is going to be a big year for you in a lot of respects. So thanks a lot again for your time and being here. It is much appreciated.
Well, thank you for having me, and I appreciate you for, you know, wanting to take your time out of your busy schedule to go ahead and interview me. And I am looking forward to 2016, and, you know, just getting to know you and see what your brand is about as well. So I'm really excited.
You got it. We're I know we're going to be meeting in Nashville in like 5 weeks for a company event. So
yeah,
that'll be cool, man. That's going to be
dope.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited to finally see everybody that's international in one location.
Yeah, I'm coming from a long way, but it's just like, I'm not going for the company, I'm going for the team, you know, believe it or not. It's just like, I'm not that interested in the company. It's just like, I know because we've got this collective now, you know, having a collective is important. One more thing before I just let you go. What is the best way people can contact you?
So 2 of the best ways that you can contact me is through my Facebook, facebook.com /John Bailey Going Places. Or you can go to my blog, which is Conscious Creator #1. Wait, No, it's contentcreatorblog.com. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. Contentcreatorblog.com is where my blog, you catch me on Facebook, Jonathan, or John Bailey Going Places. So yeah, those are about the two best ways. I'm always on there. You can reach out to me. And I do answer all of my stuff, so I'll get back to you immediately. If not, about a day or so. So.
All right, fantastic. Well, once again, thank you for joining us and sharing some great information here today. And I look forward to working with you more closely in the future and providing some more value and just helping more people to achieve their breakthroughs. So thanks a lot, Jonathan. Appreciate you, and we'll chat again soon.
All right, I appreciate you too. Thanks. All right, see you.
All right, take care. Bye.